I mean, the title's always been brilliant, but I think this season actually gives us the most sex and the most education of any of the seasons. And that's a good thing. What is up, Netflix fans? Welcome back to my channel, Sex Education Season 3. It's almost on Netflix. I want to say thank you to Netflix for providing these screeners for this season. One of my absolute favorite shows, but I'm always hesitant, right? Is this season going to live up to the hype? Is it as good as ever? Let's talk about it spoiler-free in this video. If you guys want me to talk spoilers, let me know. So Season 3 picks up in a new school year, months after the events of the last season. Unlikely couple Eric and his bully-turned-boyfriend Adam are going strong. Jean is pregnant. Otis and Maeve, they're still a little bit on that will they, won't they, up and down relationship at this point. But this time around, Otis, he finds someone else. And I will not get into, what relationships form in this season, but that is also technically a will they, won't they, on and off type of relationship, but very unexpected, especially to those around him, right? But I love this cast and these characters in their entirety. Eric and Adam, their relationship, what we are kind of exploring here, whether it be opening up to each other, opening up to those around them, this show really does hit on things that other shows they just won't do, but it's because we know these characters so intimately, maybe not as intimately as they know each other, but we know them very intimately at this point. And I say that, we open up in episode 1 with this huge sex-filled, sex-fueled montage. And at this point, you know exactly what you're getting from this show, so you will not be surprised when you see that montage. But we get even more of that this time around, but we have someone new at the school that's making some changes. But I like the fact that this character, she wasn't this ominous, bad or good for our students, but it's not one that is this full-on villainous turn, which I really appreciate. Every character here has an arc or an aspect of their humanity that may not be hit upon throughout the entire series, but it's hit upon just enough. Asa Butterfield as Otis. Of course, Gillian Anderson. Oh my God, she's incredible. But Otis is just one of those characters. I believe it's in episode 3 or 4. Someone tells him, "You're an old man in a young man's body. You have all of this advice, this wisdom." And often we see throughout the show that sometimes Otis is going through something. Otis is faced with a decision, a confrontation to where maybe he needs a little advice. And there's one thing in particular that happens in this season when someone says something to him and immediately he checks out, doesn't know what to say. So he's faced with confrontation this time around, good or bad, right? But that we've never seen him faced with before. And it's also, in a new relationship, but still the past, the character of Maeve. She's lingering in the background, but she's going through things of her own. And of course, we had these big moments that happened in the last season, and we're wondering, right, will things be cleared up for her? Will things be cleared up for our characters in general? And while this season maybe doesn't tackle them in a way that you're going to expect, it definitely tackles those things. So just looking at the central relationship here, the one that I think fans really want to see play out, Otis and Maeve, it's not going to play out in the way that you expect. And at this point, I will fully admit that their relationship, it hasn't run its course. Absolutely not. But it is kind of ongoing. And at this point, I'm really like, okay, guys, are we going to do something? And we do get something. But is that something going to make all of the fans happy? I believe there are so many positives that come from that something. It's really hard to do a spoiler-free review and talking about a show like this, but it works extremely well. Other characters like Jackson and Amy, Ruby, a huge player this time around, and she does an incredible job. But it's always, they show up at school, they have their banter, their back and forth. I think, honestly, Eric and Otis's relationship this season is better than ever. I loved it. They share a moment in the hallway where they're both excited about something that's happening with Eric, and they're just celebrating and dancing, and then it's such a fun moment because you love these two together. It's their friendship, and but they're each in relationships of their own and going off on their own path, and as is every single character, what Maeve is having to go through, what Jean is having to go through, and Jakob, and just the idea that, yes, kids can struggle, finding themselves, their identity, and discovering, obviously all of the sexual things that they're discovering, but also being educated themselves. But the adults, they can go through the same thing too, right? I mean, Jean, she is a therapist, but even she is having to go to therapy this time around and trying to make this relationship work. But obviously, a new element to her story, which I really respected and appreciated. And things are not as easy as they seem, right? We see a couple, I won't say who that is, that, they're having sex constantly in this show. And then we realize that a lot of this comes from grief, confiding into someone through sex and sexual experiences because of grief. And I love how this show can just effortlessly balance so many characters and storylines. I mean, we're in season 3. We know everyone, so we don't have to get a lot of backstory, right? We can just continue on with the story. But it keeps building, and they're making big changes here. Changes to kind of the reason why sex education started, but now we're on an entirely different path with these characters. And let me tell you guys, all of this to say, Sex Education Season 3 may be the best season. It may just be the best season. It is top tier entertainment because these characters, again, the on and off, will they, won't they relationship between Otis and Maeve, that may rub some people the wrong way, but I was locked in every episode. And yes, it's dirty. Yes, it's over the top at times, but we are getting exactly what the show promises us. And my goodness, guys, I love this season of Sex Education. Hilarious. The humor lands. It's just the ultimate coming-of-age story in TV form. They're even throwing us a Ferris Bueller song. And I'm like, yeah, it's coming-of-age. It's full circle. Oh, another song that we get, the song, Sucking on, the F the Pain Away. I can't even say it. Just feel weird saying it. We get a cover of that from the band. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't Google it. Before I give you guys my score, let me know, would you like a spoiler review just to talk about the ending of this season? Because my goodness, fans, oh boy, you don't know what's coming, let me tell you. Season 3 is entertainment in its purest form. It is raw, unafraid, and brilliant with how it handles its characters. If you guys like this review, let me know. Drop your thumbs up down below. I'm going a 90% with my score. Sex Education Season 3. It just keeps getting better. And if you don't think this season is better, well, it's at least consistent. How many shows show this type of consistency from Season 1 to Season 3? I need to shut up. I could talk about it all day, and maybe we will in another video. You guys are the best. Let me know how'd you feel. Sorry about the change of scenery, but I'm getting ready to travel, and we're cleaning over there. I like to clean. Thank you guys so much for watching. Come back. More Netflix reviews to come. I'll see you soon.